CBN's new policy, introduction of that 5,000 naira notary, not redenomination. They say they want to change a lot, not just that 5,000 naira note introduction. Well, yes, the Senate has a position on that, but we also like you to make your opinion count when you do vote. Well, we're joined now by Mr. Henry Boyo, who is an economist. Thank you for coming on this morning.
My pleasure.
And also, we hope to hear from the Central Bank of Nigeria in the course of this program, so just hold on. We will do that in a moment or two. But yes, the Senate has spoken, and can this be the perspective that a lot of Nigerians have on this? No to this new policy.
I think it's been fairly obvious that since this announcement was made, there has been a public outcry against it. But I'll let you take the...
Okay. Well, we've got Mr. Gochukwu Okorafor, who is the Director of Media for the Central Bank of Nigeria, on the line with us this morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. Well, as a matter of fact, can you hear us? Okay, it looks as though we may have lost him, but we will try and get him back on the line so he can give us his perspective on this. Yes, please, you make the change.
Yes, since the announcement was made last week, there has been a public outcry. In fact, you probably have a ratio of 1 million to 1 when you look at the various reports or comments on the social media on this issue. If you go and vote and people count your vote, but you don't have a say, so to speak, the social media has fortunately provided that opportunity for you to express your views and for a fair evaluation to be made of people's opinion. I agree not everybody is on social media. But the important thing is that the move is totally unpopular. That is clear. There is no doubt about that. But I'm worried that we seem to be playing out to a script. The script is to keep us occupied talking about this thing, getting the Senate worked up and all the lot, and then after some time they would say, okay, maybe 5,000 naira note is too high, but we'll bring in the 2,000 naira note. And people say, okay, at least we won a little bit.
Isn't that the progression you talked about? That don't jump from 1,000 to 5,000, go with a natural progression.
Absolutely. I mean, you see, traditionally, you don't jump from the usual profile of currencies is to have maybe you have 1 naira, 1, 2, 5, okay, and then 10, and so on and so forth. That's how you have your 10, 1 naira, 2 naira, and then 5 naira. Then you have the 100 naira, 200 naira, and 500 naira, 1,000. So you have 1,000 should be 2,000. But that's the point. You're drawing me into something that I think is a red herring. It's just thrown into the into the open space for us to get agitated about, so that you basically ignore those questions you should be asking the central bank, because a note denomination profile is the product of the monetary policy, okay? So if you have a bad monetary policy, you're going to have a bad monetary profile. In other words, after the 5,000 naira, you're bound to be talking about 10,000 naira in 5 years' time. A 10,000 naira note in 5 years. Why? For the very simple reason that on an annual basis, you see, everybody talks about inflation, but they don't relate or see how it affects their individual lives. You're told every day, you announce it's 12% inflation rate or whatever. Do you know the meaning of that on your life? It means if you were earning 100,000 naira 5 years ago, okay, every year you're losing 12% out of that. The same reason that they introduced the 1,000 naira note a few years back, okay, the 1,000 naira note then could buy so much more. Indeed, it exchanged for something like about eight naira, what's it called, $8 to 1,000 naira. Now it's about 6. So basically, it's lost about 25. But that's not just the end. The internal inflationary spiral is even worse, because you openly admit that your money loses value by 10. I haven't said so. I mean, these are official statistics. So it means, in other words, that if your monetary policy framework is such a defective model, you continue to have this. You have the US, you have the UK, they have 100 naira, 100 million, and it has been there for ages because they manage their monetary policy very well.
We seem to have gotten Mr. Okorafor back on the line. Morning, Mr. Okorafor. Well, we're going to ask you about this new policy because at the moment it looks as though, I mean, Mr. Boyo says it's unpopular, Senate says no, Nigerians overall seems to say a big no to this. Oh dear, we lost him again. Well, we'll keep trying here. We don't give up here, do we? But, okay.
Mr. Boyo, let me quickly come in here. It means that, you know, I was speaking with our earlier guest, and he says that, you know, introducing new denomination of notes have nothing to do with inflation. It seems that you're saying quite the contrary.
I haven't said anything near that. I have just said that the monetary profile of any country is dependent or is the product of its monetary policy model, how successful or how much a failure it is. And the fact that ours is a failure is the reason why we have a 5,000 naira note. And we will have a 10,000 naira note in 5 years or less, because at the rate at which inflation is officially going, it means that your 5,000 naira note today will buy what 1,000 naira note is buying today in 5 years' time. So you would need what? A bigger denomination, meaning you have what? A faulty monetary framework.